Good day, everyone, most especially to you, Dr. Dennis A. Villacura. So today we're gonna move forward to another topic and imagine this situation. The students received the same grade of 90, but one student memorized everything for the exam, while the other can actually perform the skill in real-life situation. So which student is more prepared? So today, we will discuss capstone project in competency-based assessment, an approach that focuses not only on what students know, but also on what they can actually do. So by the end of my report, you will understand how teachers design assessment, but that truly measures students' competencies. So number one, let us discuss what is designing a competency-based assessment plan. So let's begin with designing a competency-based plan. So a competency-based assessment plan, it is a guide that helps teachers assess whether students have achieved specific learning competency. Instead of focusing only on written examination, this assessment measures students' knowledge, skills, attitude, and values. So when creating an assessment plan, teachers should first identify the learning competency. Next, they choose appropriate assessment methods such as projects, demonstrations, presentations, role-playing, or portfolios. So finally, they determine the criteria for evaluating student performance. For example, if the competency is students can conduct a science and experiment safely, the assessment should require students to actually perform the experiment instead of only answering the multiple choices. So do you understand? Number two is we have developing assessment instrument. Now let's talk about developing assessment plan. So assessment instrument or plan are the tools teachers use to collect evidence of student learning. So these instruments help determine whether students have successfully mastered a competency. So some examples include first, observation checklist, B2, written tests, number 3, performance tests, number 4, portfolios, number 5, interviews, number 6, rating scales, and number 7, we also have reflecting journals. So when creating these tools, teachers should ensure that they are valid, reliable, fair, and aligned with the learning objectives. For example, if the students are learning public speaking, the best instrument is not just a written quiz. Instead, teachers can use an observation checklist while students deliver their speeches. So the right instrument measures the actual skill being developed. Do you understand? Alright, now let's move on to the number 5. We have implementing an assessment strategy. So after planning and creating assessment tools, teachers now implement the assessment strategy. Implementation means carrying out the assessment effectively inside the classroom. Teachers should explain the task clearly, give students enough time to prepare, use the prepared assessment instrument, observe student performance fairly, record results accurately, and so on and so forth. So for example, if students are conducting a teaching demonstration, so what do you think? So the teacher observes their lesson using a rubric. They give feedback after the presentation and suggest ways to improve. So remember, assessment is not only about giving grades. It is also about helping students grow and become a competent. Understand? Now let's move forward to number 5. We have presentation and evaluation of the assessment portfolio. So finally, we have the presentation and evaluation of the assessment portfolio. So a portfolio, it is a collection of students' work that shows a learning progress over time. It may include projects, quizzes, reflection papers, essay, presentation, and the performance task. So during portfolio presentation, students explain what they learned, the challenges that they encountered, and how they improved. So teachers evaluate the portfolio using a rubric. You understand? So our rubric, we say rubric, what do you think? Okay, so our rubric, it is a scoring guide that clearly explains how students will be evaluated. So to conclude, competency-based assessment focuses on So to conclude, competency-based assessment focuses on developing real-life skills instead of memorization alone. So, as future educators, our goal is not only to measure the students' know, but also to help them apply their knowledge confidently in real-life situation. So that will be all for my part, and see you with my next report. Bye!